Well, hello. Welcome to your mid-month numerology reading here at Metaphysical Roundtable. I'm Jennifer, and I just very excited. We're returning to the mid-month numerology. Again, second month in a row. We're going to see how this works. Here we are entering into mid-July. We have Saturn going retrograde on the 13th. We have Mercury going retrograde on the 17th. I know. And we have a new moon in Leo on the 24th. So, yeah, we're entering Leo season because, the sun goes into Leo on the 22nd. So, very exciting. Very exciting time. Can't wait to see what's going on with your individual life path numbers. I will be using 2 card decks if I get to the second deck. I didn't last time. But I will be using Chris Ann's Light Seer Tarot. Love that deck. The Light Seer's Tarot is awesome. It really is. One of my favorites for the past couple of years. And I will also be using SpiritSong by Paulina, Cassidy. Also one of my favorites. But again, if I get to the second deck, that's where we are. So let's get into it and let's see what's going on with your mid-month numerology. Almost forgot, before I go any further, I do have a new overhead camera. I'm still working out the kinks with this camera, so forgive me if the color's a little off, if the lighting's a little off. It seems to be a very sensitive camera, which, I like a little sensitivity. I do. But, it keeps, I'm trying to get something that's going to be a clearer picture for you guys. And it was a no-brainer when I bought the Canon for the front-facing, let's say. But the overhead camera has been a little bit of a dilemma for me. So, if you're listening and you have some suggestions, I'm open to it. But for now, we are trying a different overhead camera. And we're going to see how this works out. It is, again, it's a process. We're working through it. So just let me know if it's like driving you crazy because it's constantly focusing, or if it's, if it works well with you. Yeah, we're going to see. All right, let's check out what your individual numerology is. Hello, Life Path 2. Well, welcome to your mid-month numerology reading. There will be more cat visitation. Yeah, that was Mouse, just in case you're new here. Okay, Life Path 2. July is a 9-month for you. So you've been dealing with a lot of completions, transitions, releasing, that sort of thing. And the thing is, you're really doubling down on this energy because it is a 9-year. So 9-month in a 9-year. And yeah, I know I've been talking a lot about the 9-year, but just want to make sure that I keep you guys posted. Yeah. This is a month of choices, though. This is a time to use logic. And the thing is, you can't have new beginnings unless you have an ending. And I can't seem to get away from having cat hair all over me. I mean, really, it's like all over me. And in my lipstick. It's a good thing they're so cute. I mean, really. Okay, let's see what we got for you here. Ooh. Okay. Okay. This is a very interesting little transitional pivot, let's call it. So for you, you brought in frustration and maybe even heartbreak on some level with you into July. So I don't know what was going on with you in June when it was an 8-month. But however it wrapped up for you was very frustrating, and that I feel like that's been the main headline for July so far is frustration and maybe even heartbreak. The thing is, like, the death and rebirth card it's not about death. The death and rebirth card, and this is one of the reasons why I love this deck so much, is because the author of this deck put rebirth on here and not just death. I mean, it's a phenomenal card. It really is. So the death card is typically about complete and utter change. Just like in order to make way for the new in your life, you really have to just completely and totally do a 180. Just complete change. And I mean, look at this card, okay? This is a card of frustration. This is a card of heartbreak. But at the same time, look what she's doing. She's stitching her heart. She's stitching herself back together. So, with the Six of Swords here, the Six of Swords is moving from like really turbulent waters. I mean, she's in water, she's in a boat. But moving from that really turbulent water into land, where you're grounded, where you feel good, where it's a lot easier, where you're in a better place with it. And you're in a much better, it's just a much better coping mechanism to be grounded instead of being in turbulence. That's a lot easier, right? So, there is something that is making you feel caged in here, life path 2. The Lover's card can indicate that this is about a relationship, but it can also indicate passion or anger, which is very much like passion. I mean, anger is that kind of thing. But this is representing a union or a partnership. It absolutely can be a love affair. It can be like romance. It can be a lover or a relationship on that level, but it can be any kind of partnership. And you feel tied up by it. You feel caged in. You feel stuck. And the thing is, you're not stuck. You're not stuck. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. Look at this card. This is an illusion. When you look at her in the mirror, she feels all tied up and stuck. But when you look at her in real life, she's not. There's nothing holding her back. There's nothing tying her up. This is a card of illusion. And, you know, Neptune is in Aries. I don't think we really need to, we don't need to live in delusion. We don't. And the Strength card is all about harnessing and having self-control over the negative, negative self-criticism that runs through our heads. And it does with everyone. Everybody has that negative self-talk in our own head. But if you can control it, if you can bring in some balance, man, sky's going to be the limit. Sky is the limit. Okay, yeah, I have time to use these cards. I do love them. They're so gorgeous. I mean, they're just lovely pastel, beautiful. Okay. Liking that. Very interesting. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at this. So the 2 of crystals is balance and adaptability. I'm not sure if this camera is really focusing. It's balance and adaptability, and it's so cute. Look at that. It's a kangaroo. It's a kangaroo. All right, it's not focusing, but I'm working on this camera, as I said. Then we've got the King of Feathers, which is logic and justice. The 9 of Feathers, which is such a beautiful card, self-empowerment and perspective. Perspective and self-empowerment. I don't have my glasses on. Then we have the Hanged Man, which is patience and perspective. Very interesting stuff that's going on with perspective. Okay, then we have the 10 of Crystals, which is stability and attainment. And then we have the Queen of Feathers, which is perception and truth. Okay, so what we have here is a whole lot of perception. So there is something in the way that you are seeing things, Life Path 2. Are you looking at the glasses half full or the glasses half empty? I mean, what are you seeing here? Because there is definitely something going on with the perspective. How you're seeing things is an illusion. It is. You need to look at things in the best possible light that you can. You need to be positive here. Balance and adaptability is a balance between spirit and like the physical. It's having a balance between, okay, the material and the spiritual. It's having that balance somewhere between heaven and earth, being balanced and being adaptable with it. But it's very important because you can't live in the spirit because we are having a physical experience, okay? And we are a physical creature. We also have a hugely big spiritual component to us. So it's really, really important that you do keep a balance between that because it's important that we embrace both. The King of Feathers is all about logic, seeking justice, wanting everything to be coming out at like karmically. Okay? Like wanting things to be fair. We don't always get that. We really don't. But being logical, using your intellect instead of your emotions during this time is going to be very, very important. Because the 9 of Feathers, perspective and self-empowerment, this is about being overwhelmed. Anytime I see that word, or words, because it's hyphenated, self-empowerment, that is scary as crap. Because if you are an example of self-empowerment or if you're having to be self-empowered, that means you've been through a lot. That means you have been through a lot and now you're being a shining example to others. Do you want to go through it? Well, I mean, you are in this instance. But the thing is, you are going to be able to get yourself out of it. You are going to be able to change your perspective. Well, if you choose it. I know, now I sound like Mission Impossible. The Hanged Man, patience and perspective. The Hanged Man is also a truth teller card. The Hanged Man is a change in your priorities, a complete change in your priorities. Which brings us to the 10 of Crystals, stability and attainment. The thing about the 10 of Crystals is it's about knowledge. It's about knowledge that you're passing down, that you're sharing with like generations that are coming after you. And it can also be about money, yes. But a lot of it is predominantly what are you sharing with the generations that are coming after you to keep them stable. And that is what most of us are wanting to do, right? The Queen of Feathers, oh my gosh, I do love this card. I mean, it's a bat. And really, this is about perspective and truth because the bat doesn't really see well, but it sends out like it emits sound so that it knows where there's things in its way and it doesn't fly into those things, right? Or it knows like when it comes home, right? This is perspective and truth. And I do feel like there is a component of truth coming out. You're going to be able to see things clearly, and you're going to be able to cut through the BS to see things clearly. I know, but there's a lot of great stuff that's happening with you this month. It is like a lot of heavy stuff, to be honest with you. It is. But there's a lot of really good stuff here. Just remember, if you feel boxed in, if you feel trapped, it's an illusion. Hold on, rein in that negative self-talk, that negative criticism, that just the negative thoughts overall. Hold on to them, rein them in, okay? Get them under control, because the only way to go through this is just to change your perspective and see it from a different angle, and you're going to see a different truth. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 2. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your July. Make sure you check out the latest video that I have posted, which is a review of the Llewellyn astrology calendars. I know. I'm getting back in my game with the reviews. But until we see each other again, don't forget, get out there and make your magic. Bye.